My fascination and love for tea began in the mid to late 90s when I was traveling to China for World Cup competitions for speed skating. Fell in love with not only the culture, but the history, the process, and the hundreds and hundreds, perhaps thousands of different tea varieties that were available that I had no idea the benefits, the reasons, or all the complexities of what I saw. The one tea that really stood out for me was pu'er tea. It was so different. The fermentation, the complexities, the way it looked, the way it felt, the fact you had to break it apart and crumble it, the aging processes. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. And it was perhaps China's most prized tea. And I fell in love with that. I fell in love with the process of making tea and understanding the relationship between when you start making tea to the end product. And that process actually, to me, was really important. And then even experiencing the tea and the smoothness, the flavor, the aroma, depending on which part of the Yunnan province this tea came from and how it was held, how it was packed, where it was coming from in those areas, how old it was. Really fun, really fun stuff. So how does that relate to our tea, to Elysian Symphony and the daily routines? Well, if you're a tea lover, it's very difficult to replicate that process of having a 25 or 30-year-old Yunnan province pu'er tea. But what about the rest of us? What about those who still love tea and they want to experience tea on a daily basis, but in modern day society, with all of the creature comforts and the stresses and the responsibilities that we have on a daily basis, and you still want to make sure you have the highest quality tea available? I incorporate our Symphony tea on a daily basis by starting my morning with it. I wake up, I go through my 10 to 15 to 20 minute meditation process, and then I begin to make my tea. Sometimes it's coffee, oftentimes it is tea. And when I make that tea, it's something about that process that I feel that I can control, calms me, invigorates me, makes sure that my brain is sharp, but I have a sense of clarity without the jitterness, without the feeling that I don't have control over my thoughts and actions throughout that day. There's a sense of calm and controlled atmosphere that I love. And so Symphony is really so much more than just enjoying a cup of tea. It's got all the elements I think that we look for in a modern day experience. And I hope you guys enjoy it too.